Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to HBCU Game Day. It is springtime. We're getting ready for summer. You know what that means. Baseball is winding up. We have the SWAC tournament coming to Atlanta this week. So you know HBCU Game Day is going to be all over it. Hey, our resident expert on just about all things, especially baseball, Symone Stanley, joining us from the Symone with the Sports set. Always looking good. Symone, baseball tournament time is here. We got a pretty exciting slate of teams. We have the top 8 teams. Let's take a look at the seeding and how it breaks out. And the top 2 teams in the East is going to be Alabama State and Bethune-Cookman. And you see the rest of the seedings, Jackson State falling down to number 4 this year. And then we look out west, the G-Men, Grambling, grabbing that top seed, followed by Texas Southern. And you see the 4 that will come out of the West. Symone, let's talk about the 2 top dogs. You saw these teams beginning of the year. We got Grambling with the big bats. We got Alabama State with the big arm. Let's start with Alabama State and break down that pitching rotation they have. They're going to bring some heat from the mound, you would think, on paper at least, when we get underway this week in Atlanta.
Yeah, so Alabama State, your defending SWAC baseball champions, they had a historic season, 39 wins, best in school history. So they came back from last season still hot, even though they lost a lot of seniority on their roster that had them hoisting that SWAC championship trophy last year. They were able to run it back as the top dogs in the East. So Alabama State, like you said, they have a big arm on the mound. It is Omar Melendez, and he's only a sophomore. He's a left-handed pitcher, and Tolly, he's leading the SWAC in wins with 11, and he's only given up about 2 earned runs a game, which is the best in the SWAC.
All right, so let's take a look at those big bats for Grambling on the other side of on the western side, Symone. It always comes down in baseball to pitching versus hitting. What can Grambling do when they line up at the plate and some of those big bats that they have?
So Grambling is our number 1 seed in the West. This is their first time taking the West since 2017, and it's under head coach Davin Pierre, who's actually in his second full season leading the team. So what a bounce back under new leadership. So shout out to Coach Pierre. But like I said, there are some heavy hitters with the G-Men. So they have 3 players in the top 10 in home runs, combining for over 35 bombs. So we have Cameron Buford, Trevor Hayton, and Keelan Mack. So that batting rotation is nothing to play with. You got to always be sharp if you're on the mound going up against the G-Men this week.
Symone, you cover baseball a lot throughout the year in the state of Georgia. You cover a lot with high schools. You cover a lot with colleges. What changes about the tempo, just the energy of a baseball game when you get to tournament time? I know a lot of times in basketball, it becomes more of a half-court game. It becomes more physical. When you watch baseball regular season versus tournament time, what do you see that kind of changes about the game as you see it?
I feel like it really comes down to the pitching rotation. You have to have a lot of arms. Like I said, there's a lot of heavy hitters in the SWAC this year, so you have to have a lot of arms each and every day. It is double elimination. So for a certain team, if they fall into the loser bracket, they're going to have to rely on their bullpen, and they're going to have guys who's going to have to step up and get them some wins on the mound. So I feel like things really tighten up defensively when we get to the tournament time.
All right, and you talk about that being double elimination. It is for the most part, except when it isn't. So for people that haven't watched the SWAC tournament and other tournaments kind of do this, the championship is a made-for-TV special. So it has a fixed time. It's going to air on probably ESPN something or another on Sunday. So when it gets down to the winner versus the losers bracket on Sunday, it's winner take all in that one game. We saw this a couple of years ago. I think Jackson State went through the whole SWAC unbeaten. They might have dropped one game, maybe. I can't remember. But when it got to the tournament time, they ran through the tournament, and Southern came out of the losers bracket, and then they had one game. And Southern beat Jackson State. You had the player running through the wall trying to catch the ball. It was a crazy time. But even though Jackson State only lost one game in that tournament, it was the championship game, and Southern went on to win. So it's mostly double elimination, but Symone gives it that NCAA tournament feel on a Sunday because you get one game and you get one chance to take care of business.
You get one game, Tolly, but you could get a whole lot of innings. Last year, it was 14 innings. It was Southern versus Alabama State. We were down in Birmingham. Tolly, the game went to 14 innings. The last tournament we just covered with HBCU Game Day was the Black College World Series, which was also in Alabama, that went to 19 innings. So let's keep this one, contained, okay? So I think maybe I'm the reason games going extra innings, but the last two championship games I've covered, Tolly, they have been long. That's why I said the bullpen you gotta be ready.
All right. So Symone, it's great that it's going to be in Atlanta this year. We have a lot of HBCU alums in the area, in the metro area. We got a lot of SWAC alums. For someone that covers baseball more than probably the average fan takes in college baseball throughout the year. Give us a reason why this would be worth your time to go check out the SWAC Baseball Tournament here in Atlanta this week.
Well, first of all, the weather is supposed to be great this weekend, so let's start there. But the games are all going to be held at Georgia Tech, which has beautiful facilities and a beautiful baseball field. They're playing in the ACC, and they're supposed to have a really good team next season. So they've been investing a lot into the baseball field and a lot into the area. Midtown, as you know, people talk about downtown, they talk about Buckhead, but Midtown Atlanta has been the new thing where it's a lot of new restaurants, it's not a lot of shopping, a lot of places to walk around and explore. So I think Midtown is the perfect place. And it's also like right before you hit that downtown traffic too, at least for me, because I'm coming from north. So Midtown is like the sweet spot.
Yeah, look, if you're in Atlanta this week, you're gonna get a taste of that traffic somewhere, no matter where you are.
Don't scare them all, Tolly.
It's gonna happen. Look, I was out in Mableton on Saturday in traffic. Like, it's a Saturday afternoon. What's going on? But look, get your tickets. The SWAC Digital Network will be carrying it. HBCU Game Day will be covering it. So lend your eyeballs to the SWAC Baseball Tournament this week. Championship games on Sunday. It starts on Wednesday. It is double elimination-ish throughout the week. There will be a loser's bracket. So games on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, if needed on Saturday, and then the championship early on the Sunday afternoon. Winner takes all in that game. All right, she's Symone Stanley in one part of Atlanta. I'm Tolly Carr on the other side. Thanks a lot for hanging out, and enjoy some baseball this week, and we'll talk to you soon.